Hello everybody and welcome back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. When we last left off, we finished the trial, which ended in our execution. Or not. Let's continue. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. A government-funded school of privilege. Yo could be like random bullshit ex machina go. I mean, it could have underestimated us. We had the entire situation under control. Sweating hard. Yeah, it's not like she was like literally one choice away from death or anything, but hey. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are two things you need to attend this school. One, you have to already be attending high school. Two, you have to be the very best at what you do, like no one ever was. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school, filled with the ultimate students, was me. What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. Did you cliffhanger us again? Yes. Yes. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. Have you noticed that his name is green? His name all throughout the game had been blue. I want to point that out. What the heck is going on? Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again. And then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. I see a very prominent lock up there with a very prominent keyhole. I'm guessing the Monokuma key? What an awful smell. I was in a vast, dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. A heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in there till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. You know how in all Ace Attorney games, the blue text are the metal lines? Maybe this entire game took place in Makoto's head. Maybe. Maybe they're all just hallucinating. Maybe they're... I get it. The guys from Metal Gear Rising stole their brains, and this is the VR simulation. They're all simulating them to be killers. This is it. It all comes together. And the guys from Metal Gear Rising, they are actually the Advent from XCOM 2, and they're training us to be killers so that they can use humans to kill other humans. I know, it makes sense. And why are they doing that? It's because they are all guided by Cthulhu. That's it. It all comes together. Alter Ego saved me. And he used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now, for myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of there. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of shit here. What's up with this statue? That's a rocket and a tank? I better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. Fair enough. I'm guessing that's the tank over there. Is that an airplane? How'd something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit? Kyoko was so confident when Makoto was saved by Alter Ego, like she was shitting bricks just 1 second ago, thinking, oh my god, what have I done? Yeah. There is something else here. Here? This is a desk. It's probably the one that fell down here with me. Okay. It was nanomachine son all along. That's what makes Monokuma go. It's the nanomachines. It's locked. Rattle, rattle. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, I decided to look around for some food. Oh, I don't think that was a particularly good idea. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. But that was pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are an all-around bad idea? All of them are a bad idea. Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. But that's still not enough reason to give up, because I'm still alive. I feel fantastic and I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give you up. I'll never let you down. I'm gonna turn around and hurt you. Anyway, after making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was... I feel like I'm in a singing mood today. I don't know why. I think that's the third time I've sung a little bit this stream. You forgot to add to the lore how the entire scenario you just described took place during an XCOM 2 mission. yeah, pretty much. Go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. It was probably a key, if I had to guess. A crunch. What the? The strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from up above? What could it have been? Well, now I'm guessing it's actually a person. Hero? It's Hero. Tell me it's Hero. Come on, tell me it's Hero. Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out toward whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash? Rude. Aw, I was really hoping it was Hero. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells awful.
Yoko!
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've got a bit of garbage in your hair. Aw. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again. Oh,
hey.
So cute. First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Isn't a bread and water diet a form of torture? I'm pretty sure it is. It just does not have anywhere near the nutrients you need. Like the new Kyoko. Yeah, it's the latest fashion from Mulan. Or Milan, I should say. Mulan. And sisters. I snatched the bread and water she was holding. Without seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way toward my stomach. Phew, that really hit the spot. But to be fair, it is a form of torture, but it would take a long time. Like, week or 3. So, I'm not saying that was a bad idea. I'm just pointing that out. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. Now you're going to smell like pot noodles as the game ends. Yay! Pot noodles smell nice. Actually, yeah, I've literally never had pot noodles. I should have some at some point. So you still haven't given up then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at.
Hmm?
Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. Well, you're also fairly good at, you know, solving investigations, but only because I'm here, I think. But Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt. Or no, to atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. Yeah, 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 no, yeah, sure, yeah, yeah, yep, that's definitely what happened. Yep. So you knew that I knew,
Indeed.
but even though I knew, I did nothing to help you.
I...
I abandoned you. Don't say that. You didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive no matter the cost. I'm gonna keep on going, I'm not gonna ask. I can't offer you any reason other than that.
I'm... truly sorry.
Okay. Well, I had to check.
I...
Yep.
However...
Excuses, but reason. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive
In other words...
is so that I can do what I came to this school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. Seeing the spray of Kyoko with a cup of noodles on her head before I played the games, my brain just assumed though. Her character shape. That's really awkward. That's fun. Okay, what's your very important reason?
Indeed.
That's right, at least I did once. Once.
I...
Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot, but that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible. Amnesia? Then, is it really true? You lost your memory.
Makoto.
Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at this school? We got knocked out. The first thing? You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself. A disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point, my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to this school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
And it could also mean, somehow, my memories may be connected to the mystery of this school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind. One of us. If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However...
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you were least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind. One of us, maybe among us? Yeah. I mean, we have basically vented at this point.
I understand. I should understand everything.
This is from our fever dream.
My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
It's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
Listen.
Are you okay? Oh, yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey.
Even now, I still trust you, you know. It's just, I'm not used to relying on others.
Correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. Yo, we actually vented your eye. You're way too excited for that firewall. I think that's just her personality. Wait, what was that? Honestly, I was convinced. Huh. Okay. Anything else? You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So, how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. Okay. You mentioned your ability? My ability, what everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. Called it! Called it! I called it like episode 1. Yes. So Kyoko is saying that Makoto is either too innocent or too dumb, probably the latter, to be the mastermind. Yeah. I mean, maybe not too innocent, but maybe too earnest. Maybe too earnest is the better way of doing it. I called the detective. I did. Yeah. The ultimate detective?
correct.
And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school. I'm guessing it's the ultimate despair. You had to find someone? Who?
So,
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. No, the headmaster. Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. What?
in other words,
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak headmaster? Yeah. It did make some sense. Then that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way.
Huh?
Huh? To be fair, you said that she might be a little journalist. I said one or the other. I said both at the same time. Like, what's the difference really between the... Like, what's the difference between the ultimate detective and the ultimate journalist? It would basically be the same job, except one writes more. Huh? No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster.
no matter what?
No matter the cost.
So,
Yoko, what's going on? My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However,
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then, what did you see in there?
so,
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
it's true.
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. That guy that Monokuma killed right at the beginning of the game. That's Kyoko's dad. Also see the rock. Killed right at the beginning of the game. Dude, spoilers! Killed right at the beginning of the game. Are you talking about the cutscene that comes on that I skipped because of potential spoilers? That one? And now you just spoiled me on what I intentionally skipped because I wanted to avoid spoilers. Oh, perfect. Oh, it sounds like this when I wish that I had the chat on my streams. On my stream. Sounds fun. I never addressed him in the game ever. Oh, really? They never actually tell you what happened to the headmaster. Oh, interesting. Huh. I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some kind of map.
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Makuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time, and I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remember that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However,
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So, what was it like? That part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. Sorry if I did noobs. Nah, you're good, Firewall, you're good. At this stage of the game, it's pretty obvious that the headmaster is probably dead. That's all good. It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
so...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself. And I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. Sounds like it must be important. And really ominous. Alright, talking some more. Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mikuro Ikusabe, doesn't it?
However,
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi. So then, who did kill her?
anyway,
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mikuro Ikusabe was to get me killed. Get you killed?
indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was. The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope's Peak Academy at your discretion.
In other words,
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules? That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations?
hey,
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mikuro Ikusabe. What's that? There was a point where Mikuro may not have become the victim. What? It could have been you, Makoto. Huh? Okay, well I wanted to check.
indeed.
Yeah, you're talking about when he came into my room? I could have become the victim?
Indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean during the night? I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this. Really, Kyoko, your whole theory revolves around the mastermind not breaking the rules that he himself made? Well, he didn't make them, actually. We know that he didn't make them. We know, in fact, that it was Mikuro Ikusabe who made them. Actually, we don't even know that. We know that it was a student who made them. Whether it was Mikuro or not, we don't know. But it wasn't the mastermind who made the rules. We know that. Hang on. Hang on. I just had a bit of a brainwave there. If the mastermind is a student, then the student would have to follow the rules. Okay, moving on.
Anyway,
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away as I followed it. I saw the shadow go into your room.
correct.
I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course. Going behind
However-
Rey Mysterio's back into RKO the crap out of him. That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the mass assailant was, they ended up dead.
Correct.
Yoko RKOing Rey Mysterio. That would be a sight to behold. And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So all this would mean that whoever killed Makuro is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But that's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right, that is a contradiction. And it's not just Makuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So, what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more, and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair. There's no doubt that Makuro was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not.
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about
That's right.
what happened a year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair.
It would seem.
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're,
Indeed.
make no mistake, they're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. Chapter 5, 100 Mile Dash. Pain of a junk food junkie. The end. Yeah, I know, Firewall. I know. I'm good. To be continued. Next time on Dragon Ball Z! Do you want to say it again? Yes, I do. 5 Alive. Alright, and with that, I'm going to put a cut in this video. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, favorite, all that wonderful stuff. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.